So I want to talk about this controversy among the video game Concord. And I think we're seeing a turn of the tide now when it comes to video games. We have been in a steady rise when it comes to the woke era of games. When it comes to making games more towards the LGBTQ communities, more feminine games that supposedly should attract the modern audience, which I've never heard of before. I never see them support most of the games out there. And obviously they didn't support Concord either. That's why it failed. So the modern audience is a audience that is, I don't know, made up from a small minority of people that think they know what the broader market wants. But they seem to fail every time they are trying to make a game or a TV show. Let's say The Acolyte from Disney. Now the latest one, Ring of Powers, is also rumored to get cancelled, which I find not surprising at all, because that is also a pile of shit when it comes to the story and the writing and how the characters been developed. While everything in the Ring of Power might look very good on the surface, underneath there is a boiling agenda that wants to tell us how a society should look, how we are supposed to act and think. Movies and games aren't made anymore to entertain us. It's made to educate us and to change our behavior, more or less. And that is what people are fed up with. People are seeing through that bullshit, and we aren't taking it anymore. We don't want any part of it. What happens when we are taking a stance against it and we say that we don't like this, we don't want any part of it? For example, if we would say that a character isn't attractive, that small minority of the modern audience, they will call you a weirdo, they will call you a pervert, they will call you a freak that only masturbate all the time, which I found very, very interesting, because when I've asked these people online, when I've been in different discussions with them, trying to get a adult reply from them, I asked them, first of all, I've said to them that it feels like you're projecting a lot of your inner feelings, because why do you think that as soon as something is beautiful or sexy or good looking, everyone else wants to have sex with that character or wants to masturbate to that character? I think that's your inner thoughts that you're projecting onto other people. And then they start laughing and call you an incel or whatever. That's the only response you can get from these people. Then I counter with, how come I can, as a straight male, look at another male and say that that's an impressive male, that's a very hot male, that guy looks very good. I know that because I know how I look. I know what I would rate myself, and that guy is a hell of a lot hotter than I am. How come I can say that without having any sexual thought about that person? Because just as I want to play like a really cool badass male character, I want to play as a really cool looking female character. There is no different there. I just want a cool looking character. I don't want anything that looks mediocre, ugly, or boring. Because why would I? I'm trying to play a fun game because I want to, for a while, escape the reality I'm living in. I don't want to be thrown into another kind of reality that's going to show me, that's going to reflect what a society looks like through a minority of people out there and how they view the society. Why would I even care to play a game like that? There is no logical reason behind that. Why would I want to play one of those games? Why? And then you don't get any more replies because they don't know how to reply to it. And that's the problem. They just project their inner feelings. They can't see things objectively. They can't understand that everything isn't black and white. There is a gray area in between finding something beautiful and wanting to have sex with it. But also, there's a underlying tone of this problem. Why do we have females in games that are made less attractive? And then we have the male characters that still look the same. Why is that? Well, It's because most of these developers, they have a bunch of liberal women that doesn't enjoy looking at beautiful women. And if they don't enjoy it, then you won't enjoy it either, because you ain't allowed to look at beautiful women. They have to be made less attractive. That's just how it is. And when people react to that, we're the bad guys, all right? But to that I say, just F off. We're not interested in having anything of that anymore. We just want to have fun video games, looking badass, looking cool. And one of their arguments is also that, well, you hate women. No, why would I hate women? First of all, the woman that is the hero in my life, that's my mother. That's one of the strongest person I know. Also, there's plenty of strong, cool-looking women characters in video games and movies. First of all, we got the Alien franchise, and we got a new character now from the Alien Romulus. I thought that girl was super cool, badass, and she played that role very good. We got Charlize Theron from the Mad Max movie, which is also a badass character. We got the old school movie Charlie's Angels, that then they tried to make a remake of that failed miserably. And every time some of these movies fail miserably, it's all because of men. Often because of men. Or the incels, or people just hating women. Which is really, I mean, it's getting old. It's not an argument anymore. And that's what we're seeing here. That's the turn of the tide. People don't care anymore about these arguments because they're stupid and they lack substance. They know it themselves, and there's nothing they can do about it. Because we, the broader masses, the big crowd, we're the one who decides what will work, because we are often on the same pace, the same level. We mostly know what we want, and we want to have just simple fun games with cool characters that are badass and awesome, and also keep to the lore. Let's look at Warhammer Space Marine 2. Oh, so fucking cool, man. Oh yeah. Slice and dice, motherfucker. A badass game, very epic, and they got badass characters in that game. Yeah, I'm saying badass so much now because that's what that game is. It is badass. But back to Concord. What happened with that game? If you ask ChatGPT, it will say, first of all, it was oversaturated market. There is already games like Destiny 2, Fortnite, Apex Legends. Well, I would say that's a lie in one way, because we have already Valve that is doing major fan when it comes to having, at the moment, 102 players right now. More than 150,000 the last 24-hour peak. All-time peak 9 days ago, 171,000. Tell me how the market is oversaturated. So that argument doesn't work. Some people say, well, they asked $40 for the game. Well, then my counter argument is, where is the modern audience that are supposed to support this game? Where are you? Don't you have money to support the cause? Don't you care about this game? Why didn't you buy it? If it's such a good game, $40 isn't that expensive. I mean, look at the Star Wars game. Also doing not that good. But people paid $120, $130 just to play that game 3 days early. And the rest paid $60. So obviously money isn't an issue. So what's the problem here, really? Second thing is, he says that it was a lack of unique identity. Well, that's true. But to get to the bottom of it, we need to take a look at the characters. And I mean, look at this. What in the hell is this? Garbage. Look at... We got a... Everything about this is lame, boring, and woke. What is this? Look at that. Everything looks gay. Everything looks ridiculous. Everything looks feminine. And how can you sit at a meeting and explain and show these kind of characters and say that this will certainly attract the main audience out there? But then there was maybe someone that said, no, this is going to attract the modern audience. Okay. Somewhere along that line, someone will ask, well, how big is that modern audience? And I think someone in that meeting room just lied, because they didn't have a clue. They never have a clue how big the modern audience is, because obviously the modern audience were only 70 people at the end playing this game. And now we're going to have a little look here and see 2,204 people that have signed the petition. And they're blaming it on they were busy that week. They want to release Concord again. Please, we were busy. We didn't have time to support this game. I mean, what a load of crap, really. But well, best of luck to you guys. Hopefully you get the game released again so you can play this game. But don't blame anybody else but yourself if this game doesn't get released, because this is all up to you. The modern audience out there, do you want to play this game? Then you support the game. It's as easy as that. Nothing more, nothing less. There isn't these kind of people that create these kind of games have no clue what the vast majority wants. And recent we have seen complaints from the production team. They said that, I'm just going to say this here, a lot affected the art side of the Concord, including design by committee. Failure of some leadership to listen to the art team. And that doesn't surprise me at all. Not at all. The character concept art team, including myself, is going through an extremely difficult time emotionally. Some of the team no longer want to work in games, design character, or even do art anymore after this. Well, that's overreacting right there. That's putting yourself into a victimized situation. They've had some really poor leader management that decided how the character should look. It's not the designer's fault that this game failed. Problem is at the leadership. They wanted to have a vogue list of characters, and that's what they got. And the result speaks for itself. People didn't want to play it. We already seen the redesigns of this character, and they look tremendously better. Look at this character, for example. One of Bungie's male developers released this image on Concord Discord. This was Amari's original look before the professors and the employees linked to the sweet baby took over. I mean, how can you sit there around a table and say that the big fat lady there, that's a better choice. That will attract much more people to buy the game than the character, a much cooler looking character on the left. Also, we got the other character here that also looks much better. Less clothes, yeah, of course, but that's what the market wants. Doesn't matter what the little minority think or believe. This is what the people want. You give them that. I mean, there's no reason to not do it. This is a market where you're supposed to earn money and sell to the broader audience, not try to please everyone. You can't please everyone. It's impossible, and definitely not please a minority. So that's why I think the tide is turning. This Concord game is going to be the last nail in the woke gaming industry's coffin. This will show that there's no going back. Nobody's going to want to create these kind of games anymore because they will have Concord as a pure example what will happen if you go down this road. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. What kind of games do you predict we're going to see in the future? Hopefully we will see more games that go back to the roots where we once were 20 years ago, before this nonsense took over and tried to change people's behavior and how people think. Nobody definitely don't want games to tell them how to act, how to behave, or how society should look like. Games are made to entertain, not to be a political platform for your agenda. Then you should go down that route. You should go into politics and change the world through that. If you come into gaming, try to change the narrative of the games through your perspective of how you see the world, this is what's going to happen. You're going to be cancelled. Your game will fail. It's as easy as that. We, the broader audience, we're way, way more powerful. We will decide through our wallet, through our money. That's how we vote. Our money will dictate what kind of games is going to succeed or fail. And there's nothing you guys out there can do about it. So let me know in the comments what you think is going to be in store for us, the gamers, in the future. What kind of games do you think is going to be developed? And what kind of games do you hope is going to be developed? And if you liked my video here, please subscribe and give a like. It will help me tremendously to get my channel out there. And I wish you all a good day.